Hello and welcome back to the Mindset Theory podcast. It is May 3rd. The year's flying by. Spring is in the air. Summer's around the corner. How are you doing today, Sarah?
Oh, I'm so good. It's beautiful. It's raining here, and you know what that means? All the flowers are going to start popping up. Super excited.
So good. Absolutely love it. So today we're here to talk about a very powerful subject, and it's the power of a negative mindset.
I know, and a lot of people are like, what do you mean the power of a negative mindset? Well, with all the negativity and the cruelty that's occurring in the world right now, it's challenging to maintain a positive mindset. And I know sometimes being human, right? Even though I study mindset every single day, being human, I tend to experience some negative, mostly positive, but it's just a little difficult to maintain that positive mindset.
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, Sarah, we're all human. It comes. There's sometimes it just happens. But the really amazing thing about it is when you do have a strong mindset, you can very quickly detect a negative thought and be aware of it
Yep.
and understand it and have the power to let it go.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of people, when they think of somebody having a negative mindset, they think of a pessimist, right? And a pessimist is just a term used to describe a negative mindset. We all know some of these people in our life. I can count on both hands the amount of pessimists that I have. But if we continue to shed light and love, we will change the world, my friend.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what we do every single day. I mean, when I first got into mindset work, it honestly wasn't clear to me until I started studying my mindset that I did have a lot of negative thoughts, and I really wasn't aware of them because I never ever stopped for a second just to really evaluate my mind and the thoughts that I was thinking. And until you do, you begin to realize the thoughts that you're having and if they serve you, if they don't. But along my journey in mindset over the past year, a little bit longer than a year now, coming up on a year and a half, I have really dove into mindset, how our mind works, how we can change our mindset, paradigms, like literally on and on about everything. And it's honestly amazing because it controls our life. It controls the results that we're getting in our life. And it really controls your future too.
Yep, sure does. I always considered myself a positive person, but now looking back, I was a positive, negative person.
Yeah.
On the outside, I was positive. I would always give positive advice. I was always showing light and love, but on the inside and what I said to myself was very negative. The way, watching the news made me really, really negative. I had a lot of negative thoughts and judgments and stuff like that. And I know a lot of people like that, being in the personal development world for 25 plus years. I just wasn't implementing it. I was doing it and I was reading it, but I wasn't acting on it. And you have to act on it in order to be it, right? So I know there's a couple of people who come to mind who are very positive people, but if you have a conversation with them, because I'm in this material every single day, I'm able to catch the paradigm. I'm able to catch that negative undertone that they don't realize that they're doing.
Absolutely. And that I got a bubble in my throat. That that resonates with me too, Sarah, because growing up, even now, I've always been the kid in my family, the niece to all my uncles and aunts, that there's Kaily, the bubbly one, always has a smile on her face. And I was, like you said, I was happy. I was positive to all the people around me. But when I sat in my thoughts and how I thought about myself, it was always like, I could do more. I could be more. I'm overweight. And I had the thoughts in my mind that were keeping me where I was. And I have to tell you, if you're listening and this resonates with you, your life completely changes when you have a powerful mindset about yourself. Because I didn't have the powerful mindset about myself, but I was the one who shared the love and joy and positivity to everyone else, but it wasn't going on inside me. And I have to tell you, when I stepped into loving myself, having positive thoughts about myself, looking myself in the mirror and saying, gosh, you're beautiful. Like
Yeah.
those kind of things, I just got shivers. That's literally what changes everything in your life, the happiness, because it all starts within.
And so Kaylee's absolutely right. And we have some examples for you. So let's look at Robin Williams, right? Robin Williams was on the outside the happiest, go lucky, positive, caring, fun loving man who had it all. He had everything, but he had the negative mindset, right? He wasn't fulfilled. And, when people think of negative mindset, they think of like mental illness, like depression and anxiety. And unfortunately, most of the population suffers from this, and it's actually exhausting. So they've done research, and it actually takes more energy physically out of you to be negative, to be depressed, than it does to be positive. And when you're in a constant negative thinking, like the thoughts, it prevents you from experiencing that joy and that peace, right? So Robin Williams, Whitney Houston, Philip Seymour Hoffman, like these were the most successful people on the planet, but they didn't have that joy and that peace because that negative mindset just kept them low and depressed.
Mm-hmm. And when you think about big names like that and the life that they had, looking at them from our perspective, they had it all. They were happy from what we thought.
Mm-hmm.
But it almost seems like in today's age, well, it doesn't seem like it. A lot of us are people pleaser. We have to please the people before we start with ourselves. And that's what gets us into this mental state of being stagnant and literally declining in our mindset because we're putting others before ourselves all the time, especially me being a mom.
Yep.
I'm always thinking about everyone else. I shouldn't say I was thinking about everyone else before myself. I got to think about the kids first and then my husband and the dog and what I got to do tomorrow. And that was my mindset before. But now I literally start my day with me and end my day with me. And
Yep.
throughout the day, I'm always with me, but being and giving myself to others, if that makes sense. So I'm in my mind first. I'm starting my day in a happy state with meditating and being grateful and giving love to people that, bother me. And that's powerful in itself, where you can recognize, this person is kind of bothering me, but instead of having the negative thoughts and mindset about it, I'm going to send them love today. I'm so happy and grateful for you. I send you the most love and joy today that can bring to you. And it feels so much better than, having the mindset, because exactly like the topic in the headline of this topic is, there is power in a negative mindset. Yep. Because what you give your power to, positive or negative, it will consume you. Yep. So if you give your power to negativity, your negativity is going to take power over you, and that's what you're going to consume yourself with. Yep. That's exactly how it works.
It's exactly how it works. So, I was in massive amounts of debt for a long time, and it consumed me, and it put me in a negative mindset, but I kept thinking about it. So I kept, like you said, I kept putting my energy and my power to it. So it kept growing, like literally kept growing. So, Bob Proctor says you can plant roses or nightshade and they're both going to grow, right? Nightshade's a deadly poison. But if you put your energy to it, it's gonna grow. It's the same thing with your mindset. And here's the thing: it takes no more effort to think a positive thought than it does to think a negative thought. So why don't you just try it? Why not just for 1 week? When you have a negative thought in your mind, I want you to thank that thought for showing you what it is that you don't want, and move on, and so you can see what you do want and change it with a positive mindset. Because a positive mindset leads to growth, leads to acceptance, and it leads to an improved quality of life. You can see it. Look at all the happy people who are living long, healthy lifestyles.
Absolutely, Sarah. And that was so powerful what you just said about thanking the negative thought.
Mm-hmm.
right? You have to be thankful of everything coming in, negative or positive, because even in the shittiest of situations, the hardest situations in your life, there's always a lesson in it where you can thank it for happening, because that's what's making you the person you are today. That's what's helping you grow and go through those situations to bring you out on top, because you learned something from it.
Yeah.
So
Peter Sage says separate the word forgive. Forgive. Don't never say I forgive you. Say thank you for giving me the insight, or for giving me the realization of what I don't want. So he says, never say, I forgive you. Say, thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for giving me this light and love, this experience, whatever it is that you have to offer. Because when you cultivate that positive mindset, you build resilience toward unfavorable external influences. And we are surrounded by them every corner that you turn. So when you master this concept, you are going to turn every challenge into an opportunity.
mm-hmm. And there's so much power in that. So much power in that. So, I mean, don't look at the negative things that come into your life as a bad thing. Find the positive in everything, because there is a lesson to be learned. There's something to take from every situation to turn it into positive. And you're in control of that. You are completely in control of every single thought that you have and how you can control it yourself.
Mm-hmm. So another thing is who are you surrounding yourself with? You know, being an addict. I surrounded myself with addicts, right? Because that's what you did. You surround yourself with people who are on your level. So if you're surrounding yourself with pessimists and negative people, maybe check your circle of friends. Now, I know it's difficult because most of our family is negative. I know mine is, unfortunately,
Yeah.
but I learned through study and meditation that you can't control anybody else. You have to know that first and foremost. You can't control anybody else, but I can guarantee you, if you change your mindset and you learn how to respond and not react, you will change the mindset and the lives of the people around you. And so I'm reading Jay Shetty's book, Think Like a Monk, and he says, it feels good to be around people who are good for us. It doesn't feel good to be around people who don't support us or bring out our bad habits. Right? So unfortunately, I did lose quite a few friends because I was changing my life, like, for the better, and people aren't on that same level as I am right now, and that's okay. I'm hoping that my positivity, my love, my light will bring them on this level.
Mm-hmm. And that's so true, Sarah. That's so true. You know, we can do and say things to think we can, help other people see a situation, but it all comes down to their mindset and how they're programmed. Because we can't change that. We can't change how others react, because most of people react rather than respond. And Sarah and I actually did a episode on that. I can't tell you what episode, but we did, if you go back in the podcast. And it's so powerful too when you change that mindset from reacting to responding. And I've been through so many situations in my life, and I mean, most of the time when we react, it's in a negative situation. That's what causes the reaction, right? When, even in a science experiment, when something reacts, it usually doesn't get together. It doesn't go right, because there's a negative and a positive, and it just explodes because it doesn't mix right. Mm-hmm. So that is when a lot of people have these thoughts in their head where they don't know how to control them. It's a science experiment, if you can picture it in your head, where these thoughts are just budding, and all of a sudden it's just an explosion, and that's your reaction. Where when you create your mindset and all the chemicals in your brain and balance it out, and have a realization of, I can control everything, and I'm going to control this situation right now, because I know there's negative thoughts coming in, but I'm not going to give my power to it. Instead, I'm going to overcome the negative with positive, and I'll respond instead. And that's a very big part of you and a very powerful part of you when you can do that, when you can literally do that.
And here's the thing. You have to be careful of what you're putting into your mind. Like, your mind is a sponge. It absorbs everything. Your subconscious mind holds onto everything. It doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's fake. So what are you watching? What are you listening to? What are you reading? That is going to contribute to your mindset. So if you're glued to the news all day long, of course you're going to hear all the negativity and the people suffering and the people losing their lives and the people dying and the people grieving, because that's what is you're planting into your mind. So if you're planting all that negativity and all that suffering, how are you supposed to feel positive? Right? Like Mother Teresa says, don't ever invite me to an anti-war rally, but invite me to a pro-peace rally, right? Because she knows that there's suffering in the world, but she was doing her part to change that world. And you having a positive mindset is going to do the part in changing the world, whether it's your kids' world, your grandkids, your spouse, your family, your friends, the people you work with. You're going to change it, and you have to change that mindset. So what are you watching? Are you spending all day surfing Facebook and seeing everything about COVID and the vaccine that we have going right now and, the government and the protests? Is that what you're seeing? Well, you know what? The beautiful part, people are like, oh, my Facebook is so negative. Well, mine's not. And you know why? Because there's this beautiful button called ignore and unfollow. Right? When you learn how to use that button and learn how to say no, everything is going to change for you. And now you're gonna shift.
Yeah, and take the negative mindset away from, but if I unfollow them, they're gonna reach out to me and hate me for it. Who cares? You're doing it for you, right? Yeah. I have to tell you a story. And this literally made my eyes tear up yesterday, because this mindset work has completely changed my life. I have to tell you that. It's going to make me emotional right now, but it honestly has. So I was sitting at home yesterday. It was a pretty tough day for me, having the negative thoughts come in. And my babysitter for my son gave me a text, and she said, Noah's laying down for his nap. He had a good lunch. She said, when Will drops him off, he's such a sweet boy. I love having him. And I said, I love that so much. So nice to hear he's great when he's not with us as well. She said, he is. I can tell he's a gentle soul. And I said, he definitely is. Like, he has a heart of gold. I said, I'm so proud of the little boy that he is. She said, it's also a reflection of good parenting and setting good examples. And I was like, just for a quick second, like with the hard day that I was having, that made me realize so much that because I shifted my mindset and I've been working on myself this past year, it's literally rubbing off on everyone around me. But I have 2 young kids. Noah's almost 2. He'll be 2 in August. And I have a 3-month-old. And that's how easy it is to change the world. Yep. Starting with yourself, changing your mindset with just little steps, investing in somebody to help you get there. If you realize you're in a place where you need the help because you can't do it on your own, then get the help. Ask somebody that's doing it, that you look up to, that looks happy all the time, and say, what are you doing? That's what I did. That's what Sara did. And now we surround ourselves with people every single day in this material who are happy. And like we said, we're human. We have the negative thoughts come in. But when you surround yourself with people in the same mindset that are doing the same things, like, you literally feel unstoppable. And for a quick second yesterday, I thought, holy shit, like, I'm changing the world for not just my kids, but the kids around him at daycare, because they see how nice he is and they're young. Like, I'm changing my life, my kids' lives, the kids around him that spend time with him My friends, I've changed my family. My dad tells me all the time, he'll come downstairs if I'm downstairs with the kids and he'll say, I was thinking positive today. And he says it like it's funny because I'm literally like always saying this stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, couldn't find a spot to park his boat and go out fishing this year because of renovations at a harbor. And he said, I was thinking positive. They said there's no way I can go fishing this year, but I found a spot because I thought there's going to be one. And I said, "See?" Because it's honestly crazy when you dive into this work and you have somebody help you, you have that person to go to say, I'm in a tough spot right now. I'm having the negative thoughts and emotions come in. You have trust in us. Like I have complete trust in Sara. If she's feeling down or having some negative thoughts, I'm like, okay, get it out, let's go. And we're back to it. That's what this community is. That's what's supposed to happen in life. And
Yeah.
that is literally, like, I'm probably going on now with all these stories, but it honestly has changed my life. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. My life would be completely different if I did not dive into mindset work this past year and a half and took control of my life and my thoughts.
Yeah, so some of the people like I've been studying this year, Joe Dispenza, like I love him. Bob Proctor, the course that started it all for me, Thinking into Results. Now I'm doing Peter Sage, and I'm doing Jay Shetty. You just surround yourself with all this positivity, and guess what? Positivity just flows to you. It's like when you water your garden, you plant your seed, you water it, and then all of a sudden you got flowers. It's the same thing with your mind, right? What you plant in your mind will grow. And again, if you plant roses, you will have roses. If you plant nightshade, you will have deadly poison thoughts that go through your head.
Mm-hmm. And
And
it's
always,
not, sorry,
okay.
Sara.
I said, and it all starts with you, right?
Yeah, and it's not something you do for one day and expect it to stay, right? Just like your garden, you have to go back and keep nurturing it and picking the weeds out because you're going to come to where you get good in your mindset and an old paradigm comes in with you facing a certain situation, and the thoughts from past memories of a situation like that will come up. And that's when you can pinpoint that the way you want it to come out, like the outcome you want, and say, this is what I'm going to give my energy to. And that's the beauty of mindset work. It's something that you always work on.
Yep.
It is.
It's work because you can't it's not just, oh, I'm going to think positive and that's it. It is work that you have to do every single day. It's a habit, right? It's like anything. When you start a new diet, when you cut out coffee or you cut out sugar, you're training yourself, you're training your body. You also have to train your mind. Your mind is the biggest muscle in your body. So when you want growth and change, it's daily work. Like it's having a positive intention from the moment you wake up. Like, are you aware of your thoughts when you wake up, or are you pissed off when you wake up? Right? It's how that works. So to change that, all you have to do is adapt positive habits every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Studying is one of them.
Absolutely. And if you are listening to this and you really resonate with this and you feel like you're in a spot where you need the assistance and you want that person to count on to be accountability to you to get you to the place you want to go, please reach out to Sara and I. We are here to help you.
Mm-hmm.
We have so many different things that can help you, starting with just getting up in the morning and spending an hour with us. We have so many things for you. So if you are interested in anything for help, send us an email at mindsettheory101@gmail.com and let us know. We're here for you. It's incredible. It really is.
You want a mentor because they're the ones who have already achieved the desire and the success that you want, right? So you can find people who are positive, but it has to be a daily thing, right? So most mentors have gone through something and had a massive shift and continue to do so. And they continue to mentor people, change people, coach people, consult, whatever you want to call it. But they're the ones who do it every single day. This is what they live, breathe, and breathe. This is exactly what we do. So yeah, check us out. Mindset Theory 101, 2T's at gmail.com, and check us out on Facebook.
Yeah, Mindset Theory on Facebook.
Yep.
And if you didn't know, we are having a masterclass tomorrow. It's going to be amazing. With that, it's mindset and business. So if you are looking at taking your mindset and your business to literally the goals that you've wanted to reach for a long time and literally level up your business and your life, hop on over to there. And once again, send us an email. We'll send you the link to get registered for that. It's going to be amazing. We're also giving away $250. So hop on over there if you're interested in that. And so exciting.
I'm super pumped.
It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited.
Awesome. All right, Kaily, we'll see you Thursday.
See you later, Sarah. Have a good day.
Bye.